This is Rockin' with Jam Man. It's with Chris Poland. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, man. Just enjoying life, Just enjoying it as it goes,
Good.
So, how's life been treating you?
I can't complain. I mean, I've had my ups and downs the last couple of years, but we're doing pretty good. My band Ohm just signed with M Theory Audio, and March and April, each month we're going to release one track, like a teaser track off the record. And that should be pretty good. We're using Warbringer's drummer, Carlos Cruz. And,
yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I'm also excited about the new the Fatal Opera release on Combat.
Oh, yeah. That seems really cool.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Gar's brother found some extra tracks, and I guess him and Andy remixed a bunch of stuff, and then they asked me and David Ellefson to play on it, and we were more than happy to. Sounds really good.
Yeah, good for you, man. So we are here to talk about the track on The Raven. How did you get involved on that track?
Like I said, well, actually, Steve Bauer was working with Andy and Stu, and Steve Bauer they talked to Steve and asked if I would play on a couple tracks on the record, and I said, of course. And one of the tracks Dave Ellefson's playing bass on, and that was, I think, that was a really hard song to play over because it was so fast. The section they wanted me to solo over was really like hard for me to get. Took me a little while, but I got it.
This is a tribute to a former Megadeth drummer, Gar Samuelson. And this is
Gar Samuelson.
Fatal Opera. Right?
Yeah, this was his. Yeah, Fatal Opera was Gar's band that he had started in Florida, and Gar passed away, and like I said, Stu and Andy found some extra tracks and remixed a bunch of previous tracks and got it all together, and Dave Ellefson, decided to release it on Combat, which is awesome.
Was it hard for you to do it? Did it bring up a lot of memories?
No, not at all. No. I saw Gar a week before he passed away. I was down there. I was visiting him and Gail, and it was rough. I mean, he was really, really sick, but he was still funny and still Gar. And I was just proud to play on it, to be a part of his project.
Was that
later on down the road, later on down the road when I'm gone, I can tell Gar that I did play on it.
Hey, man, don't say that.
Oh, nobody gets out alive.
Nobody does.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well,
I really like those two songs a lot, though. They're just so they're like progressive, but like I've never heard before. It's really dark and just like, I don't know how to describe it. You got to hear it.
Okay. All right. I'm pretty sure I haven't heard it before, but I don't remember it that much. But I'll check it out again. I'll check it out.
Yeah. Well, when it comes out, I'm sure you'll be able to download it.
Okay. Was that his drumming on the track?
Yeah, that's drumming that he did. And Gar had a studio at his first house that he owned. Or no, I guess he didn't own that place. He rented it. It was like a small ranch, and he took a building that was behind the main house and made it into a studio. and it was really nice. And you know, it had AC, and it was just really set up really well. And I went there and jammed a couple times. It's a pretty awesome little studio, and that's where he cut his drum tracks.
He is one of the ones who got you into Megadeth. Is that right? How did that happen?
Uh, Me and Gar worked at a guitar company called BC Rich, and so I was around Gar a lot. And when he told me that he joined Megadeth, they were doing a show, you know, in town. I think it was the Waters Club here in LA somewhere. I think it's in San Pedro, or was. It's probably gone now. But so I went down and I watched them play three-piece, and I said to myself, you know what? They definitely need a second guitar player. So Gar told me that they were rehearsing at a place called Mars Studios. And he told me just grab a bunch of my amps and a guitar and come down there and rent a room and just play guitar. And then Dave can come and listen through the door. And if he likes you, then you'll be in the band. And eventually I got the door knock, and I said, yeah, man, that's why I'm here.
Did you stay friends?
Then it was like, I'm sorry.
No, my apologies.
Anyway, after that, then I had to learn Megadeth songs, and that wasn't easy, but I did learn them. And then 3 weeks later, we went in. We made a record. We made the Killing Is My Business record.
What is your favorite memory of GWAR? What is your favorite memory of him?
Oh man. God, there's too many to say. I guess when I was visiting at that little ranch place where his studio was, Gar had he was raising turkeys, and he used to chase them around, and that was pretty funny. So Gar, his house had a tin roof. It was a really big house. It was like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house, big kitchen, big living room. And but it had a tin roof, and when it rained, it was the most awesome sound you ever heard.
Really?
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Oh, and then Gar took me to see the Manatees. It was like 15 minutes from his house. We stood on a dock, and these manatees would go by, and they were like as big as a van. That was pretty cool.
Now, my buddy David Ellefson is on the track with you. I know you were on his solo stuff for a few years back then. How did you stay friends with him over the years after Megadeth?
We just, you know, once you've been in, you know, we were in Megadeth for the hardest part of Megadeth. You know what I mean? You know, after me and Gar left, there was that transition period before they got Nick Menza on drums. Those first 3 records were the hardest times for Megadeth. And so, and I know even Dave says, you know, that our friendship is over, Dave Mustaine, because of, you know, something that we went through. But that I think that's all baloney. There's something about when you're in a band like that you're always like, you're attached in some way forever. So anyway, I hold no animosity and for Dave Mustaine. And then Dave Ellefson is just, you know, what's not, you know, I've known Dave Ellefson for years. I've known him you know, in Megadeth, out of Megadeth, when he was working for PV. You know, you just see, you know, I saw Dave Ellefson all the time at NAMM, almost every year. So, and he would call me up and ask me for like legal advice and stuff like that, and out of nowhere. And then I made amends with Dave Ellefson. I run a bunch of studios in Los Angeles, and one of my tenants had the Vic Rattlehead head from a video they made. And when I saw it, I knew I had to buy it and give it to Dave Ellefson, because when we were in the band, I just did something terrible and I wanted to make amends for it. So I bought that. It was like, it was off $750 or something. So I bought it and I said, Dave, you got to come to my office. And when he came in, I handed it to him. I said, this is for all the terrible things I ever did to you.
What was it like being?
So I'm glad he got it.
What?
I'm sorry. What was it like being where?
Being in Megadeth.
Oh, it's pretty awesome. I mean, towards the, once Peace Sells came out, we had buses and, before that it was like, I mean, the first tour they went out I didn't go on that first tour. They went out in a station wagon, it's like, and then when I went out with them, it was like a Ryder truck and a Winnebago. So when Peace Sells came out and it started taking off, we had buses, we had crew. It was like, it was pretty pampered, really. Always had hotel rooms, people like bringing you food and asking you what you want to drink. And it's kind of grueling, you don't get a lot of sleep sometimes. And, sometimes the place you're playing sounds terrible. And you just got to get over it and work through it.
Were you upset when they had you join, but they didn't let you go on the first tour?
No, I didn't want to go on the first tour. I was upset because they signed a T-shirt deal with Winterland at the time. I don't even know if Winterland's still a T-shirt company, but anyway, it was signed by Dave Ellefson and Dave Mustaine. And I thought the fact that me and Gar didn't sign it, I just felt like, the whole thing was because Dave had told us that when we joined the band, we were going to do everything 4 ways. And I got really pissed and I said, no, I'm not going, man. And so they hired a guy named Mike Albert, who's a really good guitar player in his own right. And he went out on the first tour with them for the Killing Is My Business record. Then when they came back from tour, somehow me and Dave met and I apologized and said, yeah, I understand. And because they basically told me they had like 5 minutes to sign the contract before they left for the tour. And so I had to eat crow because I was, so stubborn not to go out. But anyway, I'm kind of glad I didn't go on the first tour because they went off the road asleep at the wheel in that station wagon. So I was kind of blessed that way.
Did you get along with Dave Mustaine?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part. I mean, when we drank too much, we'd fist fight. And then,
Who won?
and then we'd apologize to each other for over nothing.
Who won?
Oh, any given day, either of us.
Oh, so it was basically like, who was the bottle who landed on them, basically, right?
Well, we had a very large kind of babysitter named Scott Menzies. He was like our band manager, like just kept us all in line, and he would always break up fights. And like one time we were playing in I think it was Cleveland, and Gar had missed a beat and Dave was really mad. So he was spitting on Gar from the stage mic, like
was it going like
way up high in the air, and it would land on Gar, and the audience was like screaming and screaming. So Gar got really upset, and he took his drumstick and he threw it at Dave Mustaine's back, and it stuck right in the strap because he had like a bullet belt guitar strap, and it was sticking straight out of his back, so it looked like it stabbed him in the back. And the audience just went crazy. So that was like the last song of the set. So they want an encore, right? But when Dave left the stage, he stuck his guitar neck into Gar's kick drum. And this is the moment. that I still remember, and so does Dave Ellefson. Next time you talk to him, ask him about it.
Okay.
Gar takes Dave Mustaine's like $3,000 handmade flying King V, Jackson V, and takes it like a paper airplane and throws it across the stage. And me and Dave Ellefson both are watching it, and everything is in slow motion, I swear to God.
Oh
And
my
that
God.
guitar is in slow motion, and it comes right down and breaks right in half. So we had a guitar tech, his name was Gadget. Gadget takes it and hides it, and then you know, they want an encore, and now they saw Gar break his guitar. They're really freaking out. And so Gadget gives Dave Mustaine this white backup V that he hates. And and Mustaine goes, "What is this? I hate this guitar. Where's my main guitar?" And Gadget says, "Yeah, we're working on that. Well, the strings are." Yeah. So now this is man. When we're done playing, this is our encore. We did a couple songs. Now we get off stage, and now Dave understands what Gar did. So Mustaine grabs a tequila bottle and breaks it and starts chasing Gar with it.
Oh!
And so Scott Menzies grabs him and puts him in the dressing room, and I could hear from behind the door because I was like, what the hell's going to happen? And and so Scott's going, "Dave, if you want to kill somebody, just kill me. Get it out of your system. Kill me right now." I was just like,
What?
So anyway, somehow it all smoothed over. I don't know how, but that was like the most intense moment I remember being on stage, having that happen. I would have been really upset, man, because Dave loved that guitar. It was a really nice, like metallic gray, total handmade Jackson, like really top of the line.
But wouldn't you be mad if somebody spat on you? Would somebody just spat on you from the corners, just kept going?
Well, yeah. I mean, I know they both had their points, I guess, but I don't think I would have tried to kill Gar.
Yeah, no,
I might have said, you know what, I would have made him pay for it out of his, like, you know, royalties. But that was crazy. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What was the worst fight you two got into?
Oh God, the worst fight. You know what? I don't want to talk about that stuff, man.
Okay,
That's
okay.
like, you know, they were all the worst fights. They were all terrible fights, man. And it's too bad that, you know, those happened. You know, and they were just fights like brothers fight. You know what I mean?
It wasn't like. No, he didn't try to kill you?
No. I mean, it was just, you know, and there was always alcohol involved.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, so once you start drinking brown liquor, then all bets are off. That's why I don't drink anymore.
Fun fact, did you know that if you drink alcohol, it can bring out your true intentions?
Well, that's terrible, man.
Yeah, that's very terrible. So that maybe solves the fist fights. Maybe you.
Well, I hope. No, I hope I've gotten past all that.
Okay. Do you think it's fair that he kicked out David Ellefson?
Not really. No, I don't. I mean, considering if it was like the 80s, they would have applauded, you know, Dave for what happened. You know, it's just it's that, you know, the cancel culture thing. But you know what? I mean, Dave's you know, he's a Christian now. Maybe he just didn't feel right about it. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean, Dave Ellefson's a Christian too, so it's like, it's kind of like, you know, you're supposed to forgive and forget, and I guess he just couldn't. So that's his business, you know.
He went against God. He went against God's will. Dirty.
Well, Hey, you know what? When it comes down to it, we're all sinners, man. So,
I'm sorry, man. Please don't take that offense, Dave Mustaine, man. I was just, I'm sorry. I was just joking, man. I just like to give people hard times. It's one of my traits.
no, I get it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Thank you for actually staying a friend to David Ellefson. He was a great guy, and a lot of people just turned their back on him, and that really isn't cool, man.
Well, I don't know if you ever read Dave's books, but in his first book, I think it was his first, maybe it was his second, I had mentioned early on, before Dave Ellefson was an alcoholic drug addict, I know for sure he was a sex addict.
Oh.
And I think, yeah. I mean, I suspected back then because, I mean, dude, it was like, Jesus, really? Do you have to have sex with every woman you see? You know what I mean? So, I just kind of thought about it and I was like, yeah, you're totally sober. You're not on drugs. You're doing your thing. You got it together. But that the sex thing, just came out of nowhere.
Really?
So now, he's dealing with that.
Mm-hmm.
He's an adult. He can, he'll be fine. And everybody's already over it. I don't even know.
Why they won't
really
let him
not
back?
that big. Well, it's just weird. It's not that big a deal. It's like, it's really not.
We all do it.
Oh, not me.
Well, not me. I'm the special one. We're on video. You just got caught in 4K. 4K HD.
Oh, man. You know what, though? I thought he handled it really well. So.
Yeah, I thought he did because he really just he made himself a new band and he's got an okay record now, but it's not how it used to be. But hey, he turned it into something at least.
Yeah, no, I actually like that band.
Lucid, because
man. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good record. I mean, the drummer's insane.
Yeah, it's really good. Have you met the singer?
I haven't met them, but Dave mailed me a CD when it came out, and I listened to the whole thing, and I thought it was a really well-made record, man.
Do you still do stuff with the band OHM Pray? Oh, free.
Yeah. No, that's my, not Free. We haven't done Free in a long time.
Oh,
that's the guys from Humphreys McGee, and then me and Pag, my bass player.
Gotcha.
But the thing, yeah, that's still going. We just, like I said, we signed a deal with M Theory Audio. I think I told you that. I just got done doing an interview before you, so I think I'm like getting things mixed up. But yeah, we signed with M Theory Audio. March, our first song is going to come out as like kind of a teaser for the record. It's called Exit Stage Left, and that's dedicated to Nick Menza. And then in April, there's another song called The Ninth One.
The ninth?
Yeah, the number 9, the ninth one. And they're both pretty cool songs. There's a really killer bass melody in Exit Stage Left.
What got
and
you?
The drums are totally just, Jesus. The drums are insane. Wait till you hear this.
No. Oh wait! Oh! I thought you were gonna play something. I'm bad.
Oh no! I don't. I'm in my office right now.
I'm so sorry about that awkward silence. I'm sorry about that awkward silence. Okay, I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
What got you into playing with him?
With Ohm?
Yes.
Well, I had done all these other projects. I had done Metalopolis with my brother. I did Damn the Machine with my brother. Then I did a band called Mumbo's Brain with my brother. Then I got another band called Nothing If Not, and they all had singers. And finally, I was just done with singers, and I called up Robbie Pagliari, because I started playing with him the first couple months I moved to California in '78, and we were doing like a crazy fusion thing called the New Yorkers. And so I called him up and I said, you know what, forget this, trying to do this, trying to do that. Why don't we get together and find a great drummer and just play the kind of music we like to play and let the chips fall where they, wherever. And so basically we said, we're not in it to make money. We're in it to make music we like to make. So, and that's what we did.
What style do you like better? Or thrash? Or thrash metal or progressive?
No, I like them both, but I mean, there's something about like, metal has this just kind of guttural thing, There's just something about it that's it's heavy, It's like my favorite record, even though I was in Megadeth, my favorite record ever made is Master of Puppets. In that, heavy kind of music genre. I think that's like one of the best made records and written records ever made. And a lot of people argue and say, no, Peace Cells is better. And, it's like, everybody has an opinion. And yeah, they're both really good, but I really like Master of Puppets. And then for progressive stuff, it's cool. It's tricky. It's hard to play. But that's why in Ohm, we try and make it like kind of short and sweet. Like most of our songs are under 3.5 minutes. But when you're listening to the song, it seems like, there's a lot going on and you don't get bored. I think the longest song we ever wrote was 6 minutes long, and it's just because we added a jam at the out and then faded. So, we try and keep it, we write the song and the last thing we think about when in Ohm is there going to be a solo? That's the last thing we're worried about. It's more about, the song structure. Is it worth learning? We suss it out and then, we trim the fat and then it's an Ohm song.
What's your favorite memory from playing a show?
Well, actually, I think it would be, we did a show with Carlos at a little bar down the street from my studios here. Okay. It's called the 5 Star, and it's a total dive. And I remember the first time we played there, it's all wooden ceiling and wooden walls. And that just lends itself to loud guitar. And that was the best tone that I ever heard our band have in a room in a long time. So for right now, that's one of my favorite memories. And it was cool just because it was a dive and everybody dug it,
I get you on that, man. What is your worst memory?
The baked potato, end of song 3 when Nick Menza passed away on his drum stool.
Oh. That would have been awful, yeah. Man. I'm sorry. How do you do that?
No, that was we didn't believe it. I didn't believe it that I got home, and I still couldn't believe it. Wow. And I thought he was joking.
What? How he?
I thought he could. Yeah, because before, as the song, we did 3 songs, and at the end of each song, he looked at me and he said, "Are you okay?" Because he was playing like really good, really intense. Like I had never heard him play like that before. It was like some new drummer showed up that was like 10 times better than Nick Menza.
Whoa.
And yeah, so I'm sweating. My nose is dripping water, and I've got a towel and I'm wiping my face off. And yeah, so, and again, and then him and Pag are laughing at me because I'm all sweaty and like trying to keep up. And then at the end of the third song, Nick he tightened his hi-hat, he set his hands on his lap, and then he just kind of leaned over into his monitor, like about 3 inches to the left. And his eyes were wide open, and I thought he was messing with me. So I look over and I said, "Come on, Nick, stop effing around, you know?" And then I looked again, and I could tell that he wasn't messing around. And I threw my guitar down, and I started running around and just calling for a doctor. Luckily, there was a fire paramedic in the room, and he took over. And in 3 minutes, there was an ambulance there. But it was too late. But I want to tell you something. Nick Menza told us, and he's told everyone this. Ask Dave Ellefson.
Okay.
He told everybody. He said, "I'm dying on stage. I'm going to die on stage playing my drums." And he did.
It's terrible, but at least I guess he.
You know, it is terrible, but you know what? Anybody that saw those 3 songs, they saw the best Nick Menza. That he was insane. He was playing like godlike, and then that was it. I think it was like he was like, "This is it. Enjoy it while you can."
It's still like a very.
He was a really great person, man.
Did hit you very
really
hard.
Good person. I love that guy, man. So did Peg. They were paisans right from the beginning.
How long did it take you to get over it?
We would have never got over it if Carlos hadn't, hounded us to come in and, just jam with us to get us back on the saddle, I think it was 6 or 8 months. And finally, a friend of ours got a hold of Carlos and said, "Why don't you get those guys down there and like jam with them?" And so we agreed, and we had no idea. Carlos learned 10 of our songs verbatim from the record, and we couldn't even play because we hadn't played in so long. And then again, we became fast friends with Carlos because Carlos is a great guy and an amazing drummer. So he said, "Man, I want to be your drummer." And that's where we're at now. And what's really cool is like he grew up worshiping Nick Menza. Because Carlos is like half my age.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah, he's a really young guy.
I know it's still very sad, but at least he went out in a way he wanted to go, I guess.
That's the only way I can look at it and know that that was the only good thing that happened. Was he knew it was going to happen and he predicted it, and it just sucks that we had to be there. But
yeah.
But even a minute before he died, he was funny. He was the funniest person, man. Like his brain was like always firing on like 12 cylinders, man. Really funny, really creative, really, like a craftsman. He would make drums by hand. He was just really an amazing guy.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, man. That had to hit hard, man.
Yeah, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
But anyway, on another note of a great drummer that passed away is the Fatal Opera release.
Oh.
Make sure you, everybody that listens to your show, make sure you tell them that Dave Ellison's record label Combat Records is going to release Gar's last record. Yeah, it's called Fatal Opera. And I'm not sure what they call the record. Not exactly sure. Oh, I think it's called The 11th Hour.
11th Hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
And me and Dave Ellefson are on it, but that's not why you want to buy it. You want to buy it because the songs are really killer, and if you're a Megadeth fan, you have to have it in your collection.
Are drummers free to play with you because they're gonna die?
No, no, that's too Spinal Tap.
Then how do my
But we
followers
were
follow you?
lucky. We were lucky enough to get a nice young man playing drums.
Yeah, you were lucky about that one.
But anyway,
Sorry?
oh, nothing. I think am I doing an interview with your father after this?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Now,
I
have to,
just
are we
stay.
going to do it on this same line?
Yeah, you're just gonna okay, you're just stay on this. I'm gonna just tell you after, okay? I'll tell you in a second, okay? I just gotta ask these two final
Okay.
questions. Okay.
All right, cool.
How do my followers follow you?
I'm sorry. My phone dropped out.
Oh, it's okay. How do my followers follow you? Like, where can they go to like support you or get music and stuff like that?
God. Our website is kind of like in limbo, but if anybody's looking for an Ohm record, I mean, all you have to do is like put in Chris Poland Ohm, and there'll be Ohm records all over the place that you can buy. They're up on eBay. They're everywhere. And then when Carlos gets his shoulder injury together, we're probably going to start playing the Baked Potato in LA again. So all you have to do is like search the Baked Potato website in a couple months, and we'll probably be doing shows there every 5 weeks or so.
Okay. Well, thank you for.
And then we're hoping to get on a tour with some other kind of instrumental bands that are doing more heavy instrumental stuff, and maybe go out with 4 or 5 bands on the same bill. That's kind of like our dream, tour for right now.
Wow, that's cool. All right, I support that, man. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Animals
so fingers crossed.
Animals as leaders.
Yeah, it's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being on my show, man. Stay on the meeting though. Well, thank you for being on my show, man. The next time we talk's at the backstage on one of your shows, dude. Please. All right, just stay on.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.